Well, I'm just waiting to see if anybody wants to hop in and talk about the new show that'll be coming out this year on Netflix. And for the first time, Tekken is gonna get a little anime adaptation. Well, I'm not sure it's the first time, but it's gonna get its first show ever. You know, the last time we ever saw Tekken in any kind of cinematic, form, it was basically one of the live action movies, which honestly, it wasn't really that good, to be quite honest with you. But it's a very, it's a very exciting time for us people who like Tekken. Myself included. Even though I play, Overwatch a lot more, I will always have a soft spot for Tekken. It's pretty much the game that got me into playing games in the first place. I remember like when I was like 6 years old, my dad showed me Tekken 4 on the PS2, and I kept playing since. So pretty much, for those of you who don't know, Netflix, I think on Saturday, had just released a trailer for a new Tekken movie. A Tekken show, and pretty much the settings takes place during, or probably before, Tekken 3 and possibly Tekken 4. The whole trailer itself is probably like 1 minute and 30 seconds long. It's not really that long. Well, obviously, it's a trailer, but it does reveal a lot, to say the least. It shows, a young Jin, possibly maybe 14 years old, because I believe when he turned 15 is when Ogre came in, and pretty much had beaten up his mother, and pretty much, and then he's led to believe, she's dead, or whatever. And, pretty much it just shows, like, where he's training and all, with his mother. He overcomes some bullies during that process. And then basically after that, we see where Ogre finally arrives at the household, and pretty much Drew Kazama, judging by the trailer, puts up a pretty good fight. But eventually, Ogre being the god of fighting, he overcomes whatever whatever challenge I guess June gave him, and then pretty much he has her by like the throat, and then Jin tries to save his mother, but pretty much is unable to. And then pretty much the next scene shows where Jin looks for his grandfather Heihachi, and now in this scene, I kind of like the whole design of Heihachi, because pretty much you could start seeing like his white hair coming in and shit, and pretty much you kind of see his white hair and shit starting to grow in, if you will. And long story short, I mean, we find out when he's a beast, so pretty much So once again, you know, Jin comes to his estate, I guess you'd call it, and just say, you know, oh, I am here to look for my grandfather Heihachi. And now, just judging by the tone of voice that he has, Heihachi already knows who he is, or might know, you know, pretty much, yeah. Like, where, like, he kind of has a sense of who he is, you know, because pretty much he addresses him by his last name, Kazama. And pretty much it shows a little segment of those two training, if you will. And obviously, it's a huge difference between how when Jin was, you know, training, if you will, with his mother, like where it was all about, you know, like discipline, form, you know, like doing katas or forms, as they call them. And now, pretty much, he's training, you know, freaking hardcore, you know, 100%, not holding back, you know, learning the Mishima style of martial arts or karate. And pretty much after that, it shows a little like segment, I guess, basically of characters that we will see in this coming show. You know, Paul Phoenix, Leroy Smith, surprisingly, and now I'll get to that portion shortly. Leroy Smith, True Ogre. And then it shows Jun Kazama, but with like a little white background. My best guess that it could be a dream that Jun's having during the whole show. And then with that, and then it shows 3 close-up faces of Heihachi, Kazuya, and Jin. But with Jin though, pretty much like you see the little like red lines all over his face. So pretty much it shows where he's tapping into the devil gene within him, whatever the case may be. And that's when the whole title for the and that's like when like, the whole title pops up, you know, in front of us. Tekken Bloodline, I think it's called, yeah. It's Bloodline. And yeah. So pretty much right off the bat, you know what, I'm gonna put something here so I won't bore you guys with my annoying ass voice. So I have a little like theories, I guess, on how this whole show is gonna go down.
Welcome to the King of Iron.
You know, just out of the sake of this conversation, I will be using Jin Kazama in traditional plural, and I'll use Leroy Smith. Yes.
Leroy Smith.
So, it's a quiet background. This should be good. So, what was I gonna say? I lost my whole train of thought. So pretty much one main thing that's been confirmed, I guess you'd say, is that hold on. So pretty much here's like my little theories and all. So there's been a lot of comments on stating that Heihachi looks wide or like big, if you will. And now I'm not sure if anybody has been complaining about the whole design for him though, but my little theory is this, is that potentially, you know, we could be looking into the show in the eyes of Jin Kazama. And now, keep in mind though, you know, he's 13 years old, or 14 years old, and pretty much between the ages of 14 and 20, I think, is when Jin is, like during the time of now, like Tekken 7. You know, a lot happens, you know, where like you grow, you get tall and stronger, so pretty much to a young Jin, Heihachi looks like a monster. You know, and same for Ogre. You know, like we're like those two characters like look very tall, imposing, you know, mean, if you will. So pretty much, I think that the reason why some characters look like really big is just because, you know, we're looking into the eyes of young Jin potentially. What else? And also for Leroy Smith, this part was very confusing just because he just came out what, like 2 years ago or a year ago? I don't even know. But, you know, he came out, you know, a few years back. So pretty much, you know, it leads, it like was basically confused a lot of people because Leroy wasn't in Tekken 3. He was never mentioned in any, like, you know, and he was never mentioned in any of the Tekken games. So pretty much it leads you to believe, well, how come he's in this trailer when supposedly this whole like show takes place before Tekken 3, during Tekken 3, and potentially into Tekken 4. So now my whole thing is this, and now my only two theories is that either one, Leroy Smith has been around for that long in terms of like the story, but like he just never entered into any of the tournaments, and that's why, you know, we never see him. Or possibly this show could be hinting at having multiple seasons. You know, like we're pretty much we can see maybe we can see maybe in season 2, you know, we kind of go a little bit after Tekken 7 before Tekken 8 comes out, but like the whole story could happen a little after Tekken 7 or during the whole events of Tekken 7, and we could see Leroy Smith and what he's doing. You know, that's my only other logical explanation, because obviously, you know, just judging by the trailer of it, like he basically looks the same as he does in Tekken 7, so possibly, or maybe the whole thing could be done in one season, where pretty much by the time once you know, like the whole show ends, we are already caught up to you know, Tekken's modern, you know, timeline, where pretty much, you know, it's a little after Tekken 7, you know, Heihachi died, I think, you know, knowing him is probably gonna come back in some way, but, you know, once again though, you know, and once again, you know, shit, I lost my thought. So pretty much, potentially those two things could happen. You know, like those two things could, you know, potentially happen, where, you know, we could see you know, of those two, yeah, like those two things could happen, you know, where we could see, you know, we could see, you know, Leroy either during, you know, the events of Tekken 3, where, you know, obviously he might look a little more younger, you know, and he could be, you know, mentoring Jin on the side perhaps, or maybe he could, you know, just like something like that, you know, or possibly maybe either in season 2 or towards the end of the first season, we could see, you know, Leroy Smith in the whole show, you know. So once again, you know, there is a lot of, you know, theories revolving around, you know, the trailer, a lot of, you know, the speculations. So those are my little, you know, takes, and if anybody wants to hop in and say what up, we can talk about it a little bit more, or I could just state what I just stated, you know. So if anybody wants to hop in the stream, I can. You know, honestly though, it's gonna be really cool seeing Double Jin as well, you know, because once again, you know, I'm not sure if this show is gonna take place all in Tekken all like in Tekken 3 possibly, you know. But my best guess though is that, you know, we could see potentially Tekken 8 be released. You know, one little quick thing that I mentioned, I think on someone's channel, where I put like a comment down on there, where pretty much I said this, you know, one thing that'd be really cool is that maybe like what if maybe after like the whole final episode, we could see, you know, like after like the credits, oh, coming in 2023, and we could see like some giant 8 pop up in the background, and then pretty much they'll officially announce, you know, Tekken 8, if you will. That's my whole thing. Oh, and also too, I forgot to mention though, where like the ending scene, my bad. The ending scene for the trailer shows Jin and King fighting each other, so you know, it's all pretty cool. I'll probably have one viewer. Like somebody. Well, you know, that's all I had really, you know, I was just wondering if anybody I'm just wondering, you know, if anybody wants to, you know, pitch in and, you know, say anything or, you know, just wanna see what's going on, but if not, then I'll just end off the stream right here. Well, that's all I have, you know. If anybody wants to once again pitch in on something, you know, talk about, you know, whatever, you can put it in the comment section down below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.